Friends, goal setting has been discussed enough and more. Let me ask you 3 questions. Are your goals too vague or specific? Are your goals too grand? And most of all, are you surrounded by the right kind of people to achieve your goals? Because Bill Gates said that normally we overestimate what we can do in 1 year and underestimate what we can do over 10 years. Think about it, because in this video, I'm going to answer why SMART goals fail. Hello everyone, welcome to this video, and in this video we are talking why SMART goals fail. And more importantly, we are doing that at the beginning of the year because this is the time we set our goals. We set new goals to achieve for this grand year ahead, right? Now, why am I doing this topic? The reason I'm doing this topic is last week I was a part of this mastermind group where we discussed that, okay, we are going to pen down our goals and keep them SMART. You know, all of us know about the SMART goals, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So let's keep them SMART and then go about achieving it by periodically answering to one another and monitoring our progress. But when we sat down to do that, we went into a confusing mode. Why? Because some of us, we thought, okay, we need to have 5 different goals for each of those alphabets, S, M, A, R, T. Some of us could not even quite measure as to how are we going to achieve our goals because we didn't have the clarity of the parameters and the metrics. And some of us were even more ambitious in putting down our goals and saying we're going to achieve this, maybe double or triple the targets what we have been doing so far. Now, what one thing all of them had in common is the chances of they failing is much higher than they succeeding. So then that sent me to thinking as to if this is the way we set SMART goals, that means we can be rest assured that even before we go about achieving it, we will not see success. So I made this notes, a list of things why SMART goals fail. Because if you can take care of them, there is no way that our SMART goals will fail, right? So the one way is to insure ourselves against failure so that we succeed. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started, and I'm going to go to my notebook and pull out pointers for all of us to analyze and understand as to why SMART goals fail. Now remember, you can be in business, you can be in a profession, you can be any personal self-employed individual who are offering professional services, you can be a student, you can be maybe a canine trainer. You can have all these things achieving your goals if you have the right way to go about setting your SMART goals. First thing, specific. Now, as the word itself suggests, specific means being clear and being precise. Now, there's no rocket science to that, right? But what happens is when we go about setting up specific goals, we normally stop at answering the first question. What is that? What do we want? Yeah. We ask ourselves when we are setting the goals, what do I want? And we will try to be as specific, as clear, as precise as possible. And if you're not, that's where you need to improve. We need to be very, very specific. So let's give an example. I want to lose weight. Common goal, right? But how many kilograms you want to lose? That's the specificity, right? So that is one thing which you need to keep in mind. Be accurate when it comes to being precise. But that's even possible, or that's even common that people know that. But what they don't know is this: what specific actions I will have to take to get there. Yeah. First is what do I want, being specific and clear. Second is what specific actions I need to do or I need to take to get there. So I say I want to lose say 10 kgs. Now what do I have to do? Work out 1 hour every day or run 5 kilometers every day or maybe go for Zumba or cycle or swimming or whatever. But that is a specific thing. You don't identify that at that stage, your goal is not specific. So common mistake, we don't identify what I have to do to get to where I want to go. Second, measurable. Measurable, as the word itself means, everything needs to be measured. Because there is a nice quote which you may find relevant here is what is not measured cannot be improved. Isn't it? So simple but so true. So measurable is you need to measure your actions and inputs so that you can even measure your outputs. So what happens here? You need to set parameters. Because when I say parameters, what I mean is what are those things you're going to measure? So keeping that example, I'm going to measure maybe my weight. I'm going to measure maybe my endurance level, maybe my ability to do sit-ups or push-ups or pull-ups or even run on the treadmill or whatever. I'm going to measure all of those. The weight I train, so I'm going to measure the kilograms I'm pulling or lifting, whatever. So parameters becomes very important. So it's our units which adds to the bigger thing, right? So that's the first part. That's still okay. We try to fix the parameters and we can intuitively identify what are our parameters. But the next thing, this is where the SMART goals fail. And the next thing is metrics. What do I mean by metrics? How will I measure these parameters? You have listed down the parameters, but how will I measure these parameters? Like for example, if I'm saying I'll measure my weight, am I measuring it every morning on an empty stomach? It's not that I just measure it anytime I need and I want or I remember and then I go about it, right? So measuring the right parameter and having the right metrics becomes extremely important for your SMART goals. Now the third one, achievable. Achievable, as the word again says, it needs to be achieved. What does that mean? The question here is, can I do it? The simple question is, whenever I put a goal, can I do it? Can I achieve it? There are only two answers to it, yes or no. There cannot be a maybe. So when I say yes, then you go to the next level of questioning. What is that? Do I have the resources and do I have the capacity to achieve them? Yes. And if it is no, then it cannot be a goal, right? It doesn't fulfill the SMART goal criteria. So you will not do it. If it is a yes, you ask the next question, do I have the resources and do I have the capacity? For example, again, if I want to cut weight or lose weight, do I have the resources? What? Do I have the know-how as to how I can go scientifically about losing weight? I need to add diet, a proper diet. I need to sleep nicely to get some rest for my body to recover. Plus, I need to go to a gym or go to a park or whatever. Resources. Then capacity. Do I know the know-how to go about it? I can spend 1 hour or 2 hours in the gym, but if I just waste time on cardio, I will not lose weight because I'll gain back the calories once I'm back home. So, do I have the know-how, the capacity? And if you don't have, no problem. Figure out how can you accomplish that? How can you get that to your life, into your goal achieving process? So that's the most important reason why we fail, because we don't ask the question, do we have the resources? Are we having the capacity to achieve this goal? Next, relevant. Now, relevant is my favorite among all the 5 alphabets. Why? Because it starts with why. In fact, in the whole process of SMART goal setting, you should start with relevance. Every goal need not be your goal and cannot be your goal, right? My goals are my goals for a reason. What are those reasons? The reason is, number one, that role or that goal is purely focused on my core. I'm going a little bit slow here, you have to understand. It is on your core. That means it's my core competence. It's relevant to my core competence. Every other's goal need not be my goal and cannot be my goal. So, one, relevance is connected to your core competence. Second, relevance is connected to your value system. Now, this is why you are doing the goal setting process. So, in the larger scheme of things, relevance is why do I want? Why do I want this as my goal, first of all? Now, that's the important question you are asking here. So, first start with relevance if you are going about SMART goals. So, once you ask this question, why do I want? You are invariably taken to the place where you reflect on your core competence and you also focus on your values, and that sets the purpose for specificity, for measuring, and for relevance and other things, right? So relevance becomes very, very important. That's the fourth thing. Next is the fifth thing, time bound. Now this is a no-brainer. It is the question when. By when I need to achieve it. You definitely cannot have writing on the wall saying that tomorrow. What is tomorrow? Because whenever you see, it only says tomorrow. So it doesn't make any sense. So by when you want to achieve these goals, specific goals, measurable goals, achievable goals, but need to be tied down with time. So by when I'm going to achieve this, that's the target. So now we have cleared SMART and we have also identified as to what are the reasons why they fail. Let me give you a little bit of a trivia here. 1979, Harvard Business School conducted a study on goal setting. They interviewed 100 people and out of them, they found 84 people did not have any goals. This is 1979. Out of 100, 84 did not have any goals. 13 people somewhat had some goals and 3 out of 100 had written down goals. Written down goals. Now this written down goals are very important. Why? Let's see. 10 years later, when they revisited these 100 people, the 84 people who never had goals, as it is, they could not achieve anything. But the 13 people who had written down or had somewhat clarity about their goals, they were making so much of progress that they could not believe, and if they reflected or when they reflected, they could see at least 85 to 90% of their goals coming true. They had somewhat clarity. Now look at the interesting part. The 3 people who had actually committed on their goals on paper were actually super achievers. They made so much money, it was more than all the other 84 plus 13 people, that is 97 people combined. That is the power of goal setting. Why am I saying this at the last? Is you may wonder, okay, why should I even need goals at the beginning to get started with? This is the power of setting goals and getting to goals. So 3% people, what they found in the study, they were making more money or made more success than the 97 people combined. That's the power of goal setting. So with this, I want to tell you that set your goals, but more importantly, learn why these SMART goals fail so that you don't make those mistakes. Thank you so much for watching. But before I go, remember this. Education and execution are the keys to this new world. So my videos are your source of education, but the power to execute lies in your hands. So go ahead and start executing. Till next time, CSK.